Technical difficulties. It's all right. But let me go ahead and go live right quick. Good morning, good Sunday morning to you. You are tuned into Real Praise with Leesha. That's me, and we are getting real this morning, restored, elevated, affirmed, and liberated as we get ready to receive everything God has in store for us today. So I've got just one question for you. Are you ready to be real? Oh, I hope you are. I hope you are. We've got great music, great inspiration, the church check-in, and so much more. God is doing so many amazing things in our lives, even on this early on this Sunday morning, the 23rd of April. Y'all, we are flying through this year. We are flying through this month. We're almost to May. What? Oh my goodness. Anyway, what we're going to do starting off our morning, we're going to start off our morning with some new music and seeing all of the good that God is doing in and through us. So let's start off our morning with new music from Marette Brown Clark. I See Good, right here on the Ultimate Gospel Experience, Praise 107.9. Hey, y'all. I got to listen to this one. I don't even know why I did this or I started off like this anyway. But hey, good morning. Welcome to Real Praise with Leesha behind the scenes, where you get all the stuff that happens behind the scenes. Ooh, I see good. I love this song. If y'all haven't checked it out, Marette Brown Clark has a new project out. Single out right now as I See Good. She also remixed Just Want to Praise You. It's some great music out here. Listen, if you would like to listen to the show in its entirety with music and all, you can go to 107.9 on your dial if you're in Jacksonville surrounding areas. If not, or you prefer an online way, you can go to praise179.com, or you can download the Praise 107.9 app by looking for the little purple and gold liturgical dancer. I'm a little frazzled this morning. Everything was working fine, and then it wasn't. But you know what? That happens. It happens, and it's okay that it happens. Y'all, I don't know what is happening with my clothes or just doing all kinds of stuff, whatever they want to do. But it's all right. Uh, how y'all doing this morning? You doing all right? Um, I hope all is well with you. I hope you're doing well on this Sunday morning. I just started drinking my coffee, so I'm waiting for hype. Shout out to Duncan. Please sponsor me. Y'all, just a lot has been happening. But you know what? Even in the a lot that happens and has happened, God is doing great and amazing things in our lives. Um, Lifing out here, really lifing. We're praying for the Stanley family. Those of you who know Dr. Charles Stanley, great pioneer in, I don't know why I just pulled it. I think I'm a little hungry. Great pioneer in the Christian faith, and he passed away last week at 90 years old. And just a lot of the books that he wrote, a lot of the preaching and teaching that he did, was really impactful on a generation. And so, condolences out to the Stanley family, also to the Hamilton family. Ron Hamilton, uh, I better knew him as Patch the Pirate. I don't know if you guys ever heard Patch the Pirate. Grew up singing his songs, doing his skit plays and everything. He passed away last week as well. And it's just like, a lot of people in general, but a lot of people of faith who have impacted a lot of people are, you know, going to be with the Father. And we don't want to wait until something happens to think about our our relationship with God, or how He's going to work in and through us, or what He's going to do, um, or even what our impact might be. I know that I hold on y'all. Let me make sure this is going right. All right. I had to make sure that went off without a hit because I'm live out here. Live live in the studio. Um, but yeah, I was saying, the space that I'm in with my diagnosis, just for those of you who don't know, you tuning in for the first time, welcome. Thanks for tuning in. Last September, I was diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer and am currently going through treatment. So there's that. And just trying to navigate this space and like for real what is my impact. uh Last year I was very intentional about getting outside of kind of the pigeonhole I'd put myself in, right? And so uh after the diagnosis I realized that was just the beginning. Like God allowed me to start that process early in the year so that when I got to this spot, when I got to this place um, of this kind of diagnosis, like, what we gonna do, girl? What we gonna do? Well, we just gonna do what we've been doing. Like God set us up for this, like this. He set us up just like this for this moment. Um, I believe that God allowed me to have a paradigm shift in how I operated in order to navigate this space better. Um, and kind of before, whew, okay, emotions. I've been dealing with a lot of those lately. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But like before I was just so scared and fearful. Like I've been in rooms and I've learned a lot, and I'm there in the corner, and God has told me last year I needed to step up, come forward. Right. Hold on, y'all. I'm gonna switch my microphone to see if it's any better. Cause it's doing something crazy. Let's see. Now, okay. Y'all just let me know if you can hear me, okay? I want to make sure that it's good for you. Please put something in the chat or something. Let me know. Um, but yeah, I had to be intentional about not just knowing things. I'm an observer, right? So I'll see all the stuff, and I will, I'll be able to tell you things that you like. How do you know that? Well, I was in the room, and people are like, "You were in the room." I was in the room. I didn't see you. I was like, "Yeah, I was on the wall. I was listening though, writing notes." And last year when I started to be intentional and started to kind of get out of my shell and get out of my way, um, God allowed me to see some things, and He's still allowing me to see some things that I didn't even know about me, right? Things I didn't even know about myself. Like, there were people, okay, yeah. There were people who, like, I really just thought it was a blip on in their on the radar of their history, right? I really thought I was just like, I mean, whole relationships with people. I just thought it was like a blip. And God allowed me to see that the places and the people that He's connected me to, the authentic connections, like you've got those. And I know I have a few, but it was like God is showing me that like people really do love me, people really do care. Not that I don't think people do, but people also have life happening, right? And I don't want to get, I want to be helpful to you. If life is happening to you and I can help, like that's what I want to do. That's who I am. That's my nature. And it's hard for me to accept that for me because I'm a giver, right? I will give help. I will do what I can. But taking it in, receiving, no, I'm good. I'm okay. you know but now I'm in a space where like I have to ask. Like I don't have the wherewithal, I don't have the bandwidth, sometimes I don't have the strength or the energy, but God keeps showing up and showing out through the people that He's connected me to. And in that showing up, in the folks who are showing up for me, God is allowing us to have deep conversations just about life and lifing. Excuse me, but also things that I didn't think were important or impactful. God is showing me that just by being who He created me to be. Good morning, Peaches. But being just who He created me to be, uh, and being me is having an impact. And I think sometimes we forget that He created us as amazing beings to make an impact on the world for Him. And honestly, y'all, that like really is my goal. I'm gonna keep that going, keep that same energy over there. Y'all know I've got a live show. Anyway, like God is really impressing upon me that in my authenticity of being Leesha and not being like the Leesha that I think people want to see, or the Leesha that people have known in the past, but being who I am, who He created me to be now in this space. He's allowing me to see how that has an impact, how that shows up in real time. Good morning, Javon. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. And so I want to encourage you. Like God has allowed us to go through some things, go through some life, right? Life been life in. We've had marriages, divorces, we've had kids, we've had miscarriages, we've had jobs, and we've been unemployed, and we've had a whole pandemic, and people still out here being reckless and still getting COVID. I'm like, life has been lifing, political things, just all kinds of whatnot and what have you. But God has us here at this point in time in history to make an impact for His kingdom. Now, there are people who are trying to make an impact and past what God has given them to do. We don't want to do that. But we need to show up as who He created us to be. Like He allowed us to experience certain things in life so that we could show up and show Him in our showing up. Like a lot of us, me, have played the background so long. Being foreground is like real crazy. Good morning, Nina Lynn. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Um, yeah, being we're so used to playing the background that being in the foreground is kind of weird. It's weird for me. I don't know about y'all. It's weird for me. I don't want to be in the front. Um, oh, that was the other thing I was going to mention. Like, so before in my thinking, thinking I was kind of like a blip on people's radar. Like I'm not, because I'm usually background. I'm in the back. You know what I'm saying? And just God showing me that, um, you know, I really did mean more in these spaces than I thought. Oh, doggone. Oh, where'd the thought go? Oh, I had something real good to say and it just left me. It went away. Like it went like it was here. I was like, okay, yeah, all right, let's tie it in and go. And I have no idea what I was gonna say. Bring it back to me, Jesus. I'd like to talk about it because it was good. It was good. I'm telling you, it was. Like I had already thought about it. It was good stuff I was saying to you. Hold on, let me go live right quick. Jesus, bring it back. Y'all pray that Jesus bring it back, okay, so I can talk good to you. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. God is doing something amazing and He's doing something incredible. And we're talking about our impact in this season. Um, I'm online. Y'all can come in and get the context. But anyway, I was talking about how there are a lot of people who are leaving us right now, praying for the Stanley family and um, and the Hamilton family, Charles Stanley, Ron Hamilton, people from my childhood that I looked up to in the faith and reading books and songs and all that stuff, and what our impact is for the kingdom as we live authentically. That's really where I'm going with it. I'm going to flush it out. I lost my thought, but that's all right. The Lord will bring it back. Amen. So come on and either watch me soar or flounder. It depends on what you want to see this morning, but I'm on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter. Come on in, type in Real Praise or Real Praise with Leesha. Join the conversation. Now, I've got something good to say. I got some real good stuff to talk about, so come on in the room. Real Praise with Leesha. I'll see y'all over there. We've got more great music on the way right here on the Ultimate Gospel Experience. Praise 107.9. All right, y'all. Okay. Thank you, John McCaskill. Good morning. Thank you so much for hanging out, being in the background. There was it was something real good, y'all. It really was. Like it was good. I was like, "Ooh, this gonna be good." Maybe that's why. Maybe that's why it left me. I don't know at the moment, but I'll go back to my original thought and maybe it'll come back through. So, um, living authentically as God called you uh, to live in this season, because a lot is going on. And um, for me, it wasn't until I decided to be authentically who He created me to be. And I'm a little different, maybe a lot of different, but God created me to do things in a different way and to think a different way. And while I knew that, like, that's cool because I'm in the background, right? I'm over here on the wall. And if I think differently, it's okay. I ain't got to worry about nobody coming for me or nothing because I'm on the wall. And last year, when I decided to get off the wall and think differently and out loud, um, understanding that people aren't always going to understand me. And that always bothered me. But now it doesn't, because what I understand about how God works in me, He is allowing me to conquer the fears that I kept putting, as roadblocks for accomplishing what he has set for my life. So it was somewhere I was, oh my gosh, I really wish I could remember. But you know what? It is what it is. And I'm going to put a pin in it here for a disclaimer. So I have, because chemotherapy, I have chemo brain. So there are times where like it'll be like a literal like a big cloud will just come over whatever, and then it like takes away whatever was there before. So, and it's frustrating, y'all. It really is. Just so you know where I am, trying to figure it out. But you know what? It might be frustrating, and God may or may not bring it back to my remembrance. But it's okay. Because maybe that moment was for someone who is frustrated by something you have no control over. And you're over there kind of suffering in silence. Just frustrated, thinking that you're the only one who's gone through a thing like that, who's experiencing something that you have to breathe through, that you have to change your mind about. Know that you're not alone. Because I really had changed my mind about that in that moment. Because, I mean, it, like, I was like, I knew this is about to be good. And this good went away. And now I feel like I'm floundering. But I also know that in my floundering and my frustration, I still know that God is faithful. I know that he can bring back the thought processes. But even if he doesn't, he might use this moment in a different way, in an unexpected way. And this is me showing up authentically. I think sometimes we do ourselves a disservice when we try to mask when things are bad, when things aren't going the way we want them to go, when things are frustrating, when we are frustrated. And God has called me in this season to share like the good, the bad, the ugly. Which is weird to me. Because in my mind, my finite mind, I'm like, nobody wants to see you struggle. Nobody wants to see you frustrated. Nobody wants to see you cry. Like, is this a drama? Are we doing, are we putting on? And I promise you, I can't even put this on. I cannot. But what I can do is show you that even in those moments, and even if I'm not there yet, I still know at the end of the day that God is still faithful. And God is still doing a work. And that he is there for me. And that I can give him glory because I know that this chemo brain, this sickness, this frustration is only for a moment. Only for a moment. Because I can get back to the faith that that he wants me to operate in, the space of faith, because I know he can do a thing. I know it. I've seen him do it before. I've seen him bring things back to my remembrance that I couldn't remember for nothing. I think this is the space, when Paul was talking about not to abase or bound. Y'all know the verse. And being content in those spaces when we recognize that we are not perfect patties. Thank you, Nina Lynn. Or perfect Peters, whatever. Or perfect person. We can still recognize in our moments that God is faithful. And he can use even that moment of frustration, even that moment of even fear. Because I wonder sometimes, like, when I have those moments, like, is that going to be my thing? Is that going to be my lot? Hold on, y'all. I got to go live after this. But sometimes I wonder that. But then, you know how I get past that point? I remember that God is using this to get me to a point of victory. I don't know what the process looks like, but as long as I go through the process and I follow his leading and I do what he says, I'm going to end up in victory. Darius Polk right there with strong name, and he does have a strong name. Y'all, just some great music this morning. Before that, we heard Torn Wells and Erica Campbell with Up. And we have just been talking this morning online. Had a moment of frustration, but God allowed me to kind of talk through the process, through my frustration, to get back to a place of faith. And so we were talking about impact initially, about how what our impact is on this earth. And I believe that the point I was trying to get to earlier is that, as long as we live authentically as God is calling us to live, as God is leading, God is guiding, God will allow our moments, the highs and the lows, and everything in between, to help us not only us get back to a place of faith, but to help those around us, to help those who see our journey, whatever part of the journey God allows us to show, that they see our journey and they are impacted by the fact we can get back to faith. So my encouragement to you this morning is, regardless of the frustration, regardless of what is going on, regardless of how you feel or what other people are saying about what you're experiencing, know that God is allowing this space for you and for him and for the world, so that our journey points back to him and other people can get in on this and tie in to what he's doing for the kingdom, what he's doing as we're okay. Chemo brain just snuck back in, but that's okay. Knowing that we can get back to faith in him, even when we're frustrated, even when things are going bad, even when our faith might be waning. Somewhere on the inside, somewhere in our knower, we know that God is good. We know that we've got the victory. We know that we can overcome through the blood of the Lamb and the word of our testimony. We know certain things, so we can operate in that space, knowing where our foundation is, knowing that we are firmly rooted and planted in him. We can get back to that place of faith. We can get back to that place in Him where we know that all things, even chemo brain, all things are working together for the good of those who love the Lord, and I love Him. And I know He's called me according to His purpose. So I encourage you to operate in that space, that wherever the frustration is, whatever is going on, as God allows you to share your journey, know that you have an impact on this earth for the kingdom. Know that as you live authentically in your purpose, God will allow you to see some things that you couldn't see before about how He's using you specifically. All right. I think that's what I got. That's what I got to share. Y'all, let's get back to the music. Hey, this one's apropos. It's Rudy Currents with I Belong Here, right here on the Ultimate Gospel Experience Praise 107.9. All right, y'all. I'm all right. I will be all right. Because it is well. Yes, Nidalyn. Whatever my lot thou has taught me to say, it is well. It is well. Even when I'm frustrated, it is well. Even when I falter, it is well. Even when I fail, it is well. So I encourage you to operate in your authenticity, to share your journey as God gives you to share. And know that even when you go through things and you're frustrated, God will bring you back to a place of faith. And as you go through sharing, God will show you the impact that you have on the lives of people and on His kingdom. Because you never know. You never know what somebody's going through. You never know what somebody might be dealing with. That's all I got for today. I'm going to get off here and I'm going to pray because I'm still frustrated. But it's all right. It's all right. I'll be okay. But I encourage you to use today to set the tone for your week. Speak God's promises over your life because they are yes and they are amen. Speak them out of your mouth so you can hear it yourself, and everyone and everything around you can hear it as well. Lord willing and the creek don't rise. I'll see y'all again real soon. Have an amazing Sunday. Listen, I'm about to speak some things over my life as well. So have an amazing Sunday, an amazing week, and I'll see y'all real soon. Bye, y'all.